Good evening. This is Maestro Critello with the Dawn of War 2 Retribution Elite Modcast. Our first player today, idling around, is Commissar Sebastian Yarrick. He is playing as the Commissar Lord. Commissar Lord, slightly tanky melee hero. This one has a gas mask on because it is a Death Corps of Krieg Commissar. He can tie things up, does some pretty nice melee damage, gets a free energy shield, and can also buff his own troops by shooting them in the head and making them fight harder. His first teammate is the Dark Clown, playing as a Eldar Farseer, this one with a little bit of yin and yang on his back. Farseer is an Eldar support hero, has a lot of buffing and debuffing spells, also has a few spells that do some damage, especially Psychic Storm and Mind War, which can both be pretty good. Their last teammate is deltakyklos, I don't know. I just say Delta whenever I have to cast him. He is playing as the Orc Warboss, big Warboss, big Orc hero rather, and he can tie things up. He's also pretty tough, pretty big. He can charge, he can stomp, he can be really annoying. On the other team, first off we got Baxter 456, or I'm just going to call him Baxter, playing as the Hive Tyrant. Here he is blob capping with his Hormagaunts. The Hive Tyrant is an unshakable Tyranid hero, cannot be knocked down or suppressed, can also charge and also disrupt melee if you get the rending talons. Oh man, blanked out on that one a bit. Right now he's kind of doing nothing. Next up, we got SuperHooper playing as the Plague Champion. He's standing in behind cover next to his Chaos Marines. He can mostly shoot, at least to start out, then he can get some melee weapons later on if you want to do that. He can also heal and repair vehicles. And then finally, we got Adila as the Space Marine Apothecary, kind of running away from the action. I'm not sure why, but either way, he's running away. He's a healing commander. He can heal. He can kind of fight, but not that great at it. And he also has those purification vials as well as some other abilities. Alright, so we got red team definitely getting pushed back a lot over here. Howling Banshees and Sluggers chasing so much that they're actually getting shot at by base turrets, but they're not even getting suppressed. So blue team looking like they're winning quite decisively on this bottom part. Of course, the Angel Gate has this contested dual power nodes on the bottom. Meanwhile, up top, it actually looks like Baxter is winning quite handily. I think we already see a weapon upgrade. Yes, we see the Rending Talons. That was the one I blanked out on a little bit. Gives him only 75 DPS melee, which is not as much as the Crushing Claws he can get later on in Tier 2. However, the Seismic Roar ability that he gets is very good for disrupting melee units, or it can even work on non-melee units if you can get the Hive Tyrant into that range. Basically just an area of effect attack surrounding the Hive Tyrant that also does knockback. Very, very powerful, I think. Blob capping we have over here. I think maybe he could have the Hive Tyrant capture and then move the Termagants in so they could start bashing generators. Meanwhile, down over here, red team looking like they're taking back this bottom part. So this bottom part, we have those two power nodes. If one team is very dominant in their control of this power node, they can sometimes get a little bit too much of a power advantage. Blight grenades going in, hitting that Luda squad pretty solidly. Ludas need to get out of there so they don't die. Although Delta did manage to dodge with his Slugger Boys and his... Oh, well, now they got infected from the Luda model retreating, and now they're not going to be... Now they need to retreat. Baxter alerting his team that there are two people in the bottom, which is not terribly surprising, but here they are. We have SuperHooper with some grenade launcher heretics. He has actually not gotten a third squad yet. He's getting a Noise Marine, so he did not choose to get like two CSM or two heretics. All right, and the Apothecary is kind of just going at it. The red team winning this engagement. Yeah, way too many power armor squads there for Shooter Boys just to win by themselves. Not just power armor squads, but then we have more support in the form of these scouts. Both scouts have their sergeants, so that they can both throw grenades. Interesting choice. He's probably going for a grenade purchase or grenade throwing, since it's not like he's going to be detecting anything yet. I don't think. Meanwhile, over here, Noise Marines coming in now for SuperHooper, doing a lot of stuff, a lot of flame damage going in. We actually have a double Flamer Guardsman from Yarrick. He even has 3 Guardsman squads, and now Catachan Devils, choosing not to go for any Sentinels this game. Wow, and I think we had a Termagant Brood get wiped for... Yes, a Termagant Brood got wiped for Baxter, so he just lost 1 squad. I'm surprised we're not going to see that Seismic Roar. There it is. There's the Seismic Roar, knocking over all those Guardsmen. Guardsman now in a bit of trouble, getting suppressed, and as well as these Noise Marines actually probably going to get out of there with all 3 of their models. Guardsman now in a little bit of trouble. Force melee from the Chaos Space Marines, only 1 model getting out of there. It's the Sergeant, but I don't think he's going to go down. Alright, back over here. Red team now actually managing to capture the blue team's natural power, natural victory point. We have a Commissar Flare going down. I almost feel like for not much reason, but he did it anyway. Or at least I couldn't tell the reason. Could have been a grenade and retreat there on those Guardsman squads, but it didn't quite happen. Plague Marine now over here, making a, let's see, Plague Marine, yeah, he's in the middle. So that makes sense. Missed Blight Grenade, unfortunately. Dark Clown paying attention, just moves his Dire Avengers right out of there, and they actually don't have their aspect, and Dark Clown is actually floating quite massively. He could get multiple Shuriken Cannons, he could get aspects on every single one of his squads. He could get more Farseer upgrades, he's just floating straight up. That being said, he should capture this power node back for, or, well, he could capture this power node in favor of his team. This is actually the red team natural. Oh, a little too late. So, slow reactions on that, and he actually doesn't get to do the capture the power node, although with all these units right here, I don't think he would have been able to finish the capture. They're all by himself. So Baxter now rushing in. Baxter actually replaced his Termagant Brood, and he does not have any Toxin Sacks on this one. Yarrick, meanwhile, I didn't notice he lost one of his Guardsman squads. He lost a Flamer Guardsman squad. He actually likes to get these Flamer Guardsmen. A lot of people say that it's really not that good, but if you get it and you can get a Power Bash, it can actually be quite good for that purpose, but you really need to actually make good on a Power Bash. Alright, back down here. Orcs, I don't see this going that well for the Orcs, but the Assault Marines, I think, in a little bit of trouble unless we have a Warboss. Alright, Assault Marines jumping back out of there. Yeah, Assault Marines need to get out of there. They jumped into Slugger Boys and a Warboss. Not a good situation for them. Meanwhile, Shooter Boy is going to go down for Delta, and he, in fact, loses one of his Shooter Boy squads, staying in just a little bit too long against that Apothecary. Alright, Howling Banshees get in. We got Scout Marines. Their shotguns are on cooldown, but the Havoc in the back actually suppresses their advance. But we see they're suppressing the Banshees. Oh, and the Dark Clown tried to split up. No, not going to work. Wait, is this going to work? That shouldn't work, but it did. But yeah, Dark Clown tried to split up, like have his Farseer run around the firing arc. He didn't quite get it, but he still managed to get in. He didn't quite get around the firing arc, and he was getting shot at. Alright, so Power Farm bashed up here by the red team. And now they're backing off. Yarrick coming up here. He does have the Aura of Discipline on his Commissar Lord. Healing all of his squads kind of around him. Let's actually watch the action down here. We've got Slugger Boys burning down generators in the middle of an engagement, while the rest of these Orcs are actually getting hit. We've actually got double Slugger Boys for Delta. He lost one of his Shooter Boy squads. Oh no, that's going to be really, really bad. Oh, what a grenade. So a grenade went in, just wiped another squad. I think that was a Slugger squad. You know, Banshee's coming in here now with their Exarch and the aspect of Fleetness. Grenade actually might take out the Warboss. That was really close. Could have died there from that grenade. So some nice grenade plays from Adila. Slugger's still down here, not even fighting. While all this fighting is going on, they're just burning down the generators. Looks like red team, well, I was going to say they managed to win the engagement, but we have a hard lane switch. Both Baxter and SuperHooper coming down to assist. I think the Farseer is going to go down for Dark Clown. She's a bit too much stuff here. There's no way she's making it out of there. Or maybe I'm wrong. I think the Hormigons will finish her off. Nope, I'm actually totally wrong. You know what? We got these Slugger Boys. No, everybody's leaving them alone.
Commissar, you have improved.
Meanwhile, up here we have Commissar Yarrick again going for a generator bash, just using these double guardsmen to just bash generators. He's going for a lot of upgrades. He's got a Flamer Guardsman with their Commissar. He's also got Catachan Devils with both their Demo Man and the Meltagun Sergeant. Alright, yeah, now's the time for these Sluggers to go. If we have double grenades on retreat, that could be really bad for them, but Adila, I think, reacting a little bit slowly, managed to get one model with the grenades. Another model came from the range fire. That definitely could have been a wipe on the Slugger Boys. As it is, it might still be, but I don't think so. So just a tad slow on those grenades, and he could have taken out that whole squad. Use your choppers on the sluggers, boys, right now, being absolutely dangerous. Assault Marines are going to get wiped. So Assault Marines wiped for Adila. Now we have a Blastmaster Noise Marine. There's nothing to actually stop this. Well, something can definitely approach this Blastmaster Noise Marine. In fact, it's going to be the Warboss right now. Then Blastmaster's not going to get another shot off, and it just retreats out of there once the Warboss gets in. Warboss will actually with no upgrades. What is going on right here? We've got Commissar Yarrick pushing all the way to the power node back here, but he's paying for it with the lives of his guardsmen. Lost one guardsman squad. The other one's in retreat. Catachandel is not in a good position, although he does manage to wipe a Termagant Brood in the process. But I also think he might lose his Commissar Lord as well. The Commissar Lord is definitely at the point where he needs to retreat. Going to be a close call. As it is, Termagants also get wiped for Baxter. Yeah, the Commissar does go down in the process, and he is definitely going to have to buy back that Commissar Lord. Catachan Devils, luckily they were not getting focused. I actually think it would have been, wow, but they actually took a lot of damage from the Seismic Roar in retreat from the Hive Tyrant. Hive Tyrant, meanwhile, also upgraded to have the extended carapace, giving him a very good charge ability, very fast. I feel like it's faster than the Warboss's charge ability. All right, down here, blue team now has control of the bottom. We have an auto-cannon Havoc squad, but I think it's going to be definitely be in a lot of trouble against Dark Reapers and Double Dire Avengers. This is a lot of range firepower coming out of the Dark Clown, especially now that the Dark Reapers do Inferno damage, and in a way that's a nerf, in a way it's a buff. I actually feel like it's a net nerf. I mean, no, I actually feel it's a net buff, because now these Dark Reapers are also going to be really, really good against regular infantry. Pretty much any kind of infantry they're going to be really good against, instead of just heavy infantry and super heavy infantry. A lot of range firepower going in. Eldar units coming down. Here's a Blastmaster shot. Doesn't actually do that much damage. I think that it was just slightly off. Did not actually do that much damage to those sluggers. That being said, the sluggers are still... Oh, but there's, well, another okay shot from the Blastmaster. Sluggers now activating Ardboys. I think a little late on that Ardboys activation. Should have been a little sooner, probably. Are we going to have another grenade attempt in retreat? Throws a grenade. Is he going to get it? He kind of gets the hit. I don't know if that would have wiped the Slugger Boys, even if that grenade had been better timed. Meanwhile, it looks like Dark Clown lost a Dire Avenger squad. I think maybe going for the grenade attempt on those Noise Marines, or a Dire Avenger squad that he wasn't paying attention to because he split up his army. A lot of generator bashing going on in this game. I mean, these teams haven't really been able to keep up many power farms, mostly just their naturals. They're very naturals, the most extremely natural power farms in the game. But meanwhile, we've actually got, look at these webway gates over here. Can definitely do some surreptitious generator bashes using those webway gates, although it won't be so surreptitious when it starts. But they can actually come out of those webway gates, I think, pretty much undetected, given the pretty nice positioning, I'd say, on these webways. So I'd like to see some of them actually use those webway gates. I don't feel like I've actually seen that. I wonder if Yarrick maybe did use this one earlier. Now, Baxter is going for a generator bash, going for a bash on the very natural generator farm, except he hasn't started yet. He needs to do it because he's going to run out of time. He's also going to be in extremely bad positioning, about to get flanked and doubled. So he just full retreats, which, I mean, is probably his best chance. As it is, he's still going to get hit and retreat a bit. I wonder, well, Emmo still lose models. Plague Champion, meanwhile, has switched out to a pretty... Wow, look at all of that stuff getting infected by the Blight Grenade. He has the Plague Fist, Armor of Pestilence, and the Blight Grenades, which he's had all along. Hive Tyrant here just might go down. A little bit of a close call, but actually I think he'll be just fine. He's got so much health. Here we go. This is going to be a Psychic Storm, I think, and the Chaos Space Marines that just retreat out of there before they can get suppressed. Ooh, we have some Inspired Determination from Commissar Lord. This is from the Bionic Eye ability. Can be very, very powerful when combined with either Ogrins or Catachan Devils. It, of course, gives you the 100% damage increase that you get from a normal execution, as well as giving speed and defensive benefits. And it can be very, very powerful, although it still carries that risk of, like, you can't retreat your squad, although it actually has slightly less of a risk because you get those defensive benefits. Meanwhile, one zone throw goes down, only to find another one. Some friendly fire with the stick bombs on stick bombers. And the Apothecary's in here, he himself with no upgrades. And we have some user choppers. I don't know that that's a very well spent user choppers, considering the red cost, considering, I don't know, the Apothecary isn't going to bleed from that. And it didn't really do anything aside from force the Apothecary off, and I wonder if he could have done that anyway, even without user choppers. Alright, a lot of red team stuff in here. Zoanthrope in a lot of trouble, and I actually think the Banshee should have kept up the chase a little bit, except for the fact that they have to retreat through a whole mass of stuff, so maybe not. But that was a close call for this second Zoanthrope. Baxter, unfortunately, letting things getting a little too close to his Zoanthrope. Needs to, I think, at this point, save that tripling poison from his Termagants to use on whatever unit is going to be chasing after his Zoanthrope. More generator bashing from Yarrick's lone squad of Generator Guardsmen, Imperial Guardsmen. And we have the Plague Champion just charges in. Yarrick actually tries to move back and actually gets only one of his Ogrins stunned, but they, oh man! Wow, and only that last Ogrin model get hit by that Blight Grenade, but that managed to infect the whole squad, which also infected the Catachan Devils, which infected everything else. Those Blight Grenades. And the actual infection isn't quite as powerful as getting hit full on with it, but I mean, it's still bad. Well, bad for the person who gets hit. Because the Blight Grenades, I believe how they work is there's both some front-loaded damage, there's damage over time in the area, and then there's an infection which goes with the squad wherever it goes. Wow, look at everything that's dying here. Delta getting hit so hard. I think he got hit by the Frag Assault on this Landlater Redeemer. There was also an Apothecary with the Purification Vials, very actually similar to the Blight Grenades of the Plague Champion, except they don't infect, they just do the front-loaded damage and the damage over time in the area. But yeah, Landlater Redeemer now out for Adila. He's had some bad luck, I think. I think he just lost his double grenades, wiping 2 models, or 3 actually. Might even take out the Stick Bomber squad. Actually does manage to take out those Stick Bombers. Wow, so Adila answering back hard. He's just going in. But he lost Assault Marines, he lost Tactical Marines. He got his Land Raider stunned. He's actually using the Flamestorm Cannons on his Land Raider Redeemer to take out this Orc turret. He's just got to be careful. 1 turret down. I would think this would work out really nicely if he could get in range for a Frag Assault, but now he's taking damage. Yeah, I think he needs to back up. I mean, it would have been nice if all of these things were still right here and he could have Frag Assaulted them, but I think Frag Assault is probably still on cooldown. And now he's taking all these D-cannon shots, which are actually very effective as AV. Alright, back up here, we have a Hive Tyrant who's probably going to go down. Meanwhile, Hormagaunts must have wiped at some point. Baxter losing a lot of squads. Hive Tyrant goes down. Termagant only got out of there with 2 models. They have been upgraded to have Endless Swarm, so they now have 10 models instead of just 8. So Baxter and SuperHooper, despite all the losses that Baxter is taking, he does manage to get this top back. Adila with not a whole lot of an army, but actually it gets Terminators. This is going to be a singularity, so Scouts, yes, they should definitely get into the Land Raider Redeemer. That, however, is probably going to be an Eldritch Storm, or is that another singularity because there are double D-cannons. And, wow, Adila actually being very, very oppressive, but that's not good. He can't just leave those Terminators in there against Howling Banshees. They're force meleeing the D-cannon, but now they really need to get out of there. We need a heal. Would have been nice if there were some purification valves on that heal, but Adila being very wasteful right now. Now he needs to get those Land Raiders inside the Land Raider Redeemer, or he also needs to get the Shotgun Scouts to disrupt all of this melee stuff that's coming at him. As it is, the Apothecary is probably going to go down. Oh wow, a D-cannon shot snipes him. But Yarrick now actually switching down to the bottom, or at least the middle maybe. Terminators regenerating from this Land Raider Redeemer. Land Raider Redeemer, like a mobile base, you can reinforce from it, you can retreat to it, you can go inside it, you can heal from it. Now we have a great unclean one from SuperHooper. Very big Chaos Super unit. Slow, unlike the Avatar, which is actually kind of fast, but it has an array of abilities. And I like the Great Unclean One a lot, but there are times it's not just a straight up of whether the Great Unclean One or the The Land Raider Phobos is better. They really have they're just very different, and there are times when one is going to be better than the other. Alright, meanwhile up here, we've got the Fist of Brachus from the Commissar Lord. Fist of Brachus, oh my god, I think, yeah, wow, look at how fast those Noise Marines went down. That was ridiculous. And I wonder if with the Commissar Lord you can even do a combination of Inspire, Determination, and the None Shall Fall ability to really mitigate the risk. And wow, so I think there was your Swarm Mines that went down, or maybe something. Yeah, Swarm Mines that went down from this Barb Strangler Carnifex. But some of these squads are now going to be in a lot of trouble. We have a Guardsman squad right here at 24 health. Because we have a Barb Strangler Carnifex. I probably said a Barb Strangler Warrior, but this is a Barb Strangler Carnifex. Wow, Chaos Space Marines now finally upgrading to the Mark of Tzeentch after all this time. Alright, back over here. Warboss with the Power Claw is actually just going for this Land Raider Redeemer. I think they can't just stay. There's that barrage from the Dark Reapers. It is called... Well, it's a barrage. I forget what the ability itself is called. You just get a barrage ability from the Dark Reapers. I've been trying that out lately, and it's actually pretty good. Manticore Strike going in on the Land Raider Redeemer. This could be the end of the Land Raider, and it is, in fact. I think that Land Raider just kept in a little too long there, especially against this Warboss. I think he really should have done something about him, like blasted him off with Shotgun Scouts, because as it is, he's just so tough, and he's so tough, and he really can do a huge amount of damage if you just leave him in there. Grenades going in from Adila. He's been doing grenades all game. And now we have that Plague Champion did not even get knocked over by the grenade because he is unshakable right now with his Armor of Pestilence. Level 5 as well. You know what? Level 6 Apothecary. But Adila definitely losing a lot of squads and units in this game. Fire Prism taking shots. Oh no, we have a Stormtrooper squad. I don't think Yarrick has realized that they've been detected. This could be very dangerous, especially, again, if we had a grenade in retreat from Adila, just reacting a little bit too slowly. This is going to be trouble. Stormtroopers actually do go down from the range firepower of both the Havoc as well as the Terminators. I think this Chaos Predator of Nurgle managed to dodge a couple of Manticore strikes. Yarrick, meanwhile, Yarrick lost something else. I'm not sure what... Oh, he lost his Stormtroopers. I saw that happen. I think this is a really bad news for the Chaos Predator. The Nurgle Predator is a lot slower, so it's going to be going around a lot slower. We need that swarm of flies to at least disrupt the Ogrins, but they might just get back up and keep chasing. I actually feel the Great Unclean One now could be in a lot of trouble. I think he might want to use the Foul Snare on the Commissar Lord to scare him off, do a lot of damage to him, because right now all of the Catachan Devils are completely invincible. Well, not completely. They take damage, but their models will not die. So it's really the Commissar Lord that he needs to get out of here. One way to deal with that, use Foul Snare. It's not just a... well, I mean, it's good. Burst damage as well as stun. I believe it stuns. Pretty sure it does. Catachan Devils right here. One health, one model of a Catachan Devil from the Plague Champion spawning a zombie. Alright, back here, we now have this Chaos Predator getting some repairs from these Grenade Launcher Heretics, which have managed to stay alive the whole game, even without an Aspiring Champion. He might want to put one on them just for survivability. Because, I mean, at this stage in the game, even at level 3, Chaos Heretics are just incredibly squishy. Fire Prism actually managed to do very well not to die, just taking shots from long range. I think it actually has the Focused Blast on, and it's hitting a single... Yes, definitely has the Focus Blast on, which reduces its disruption capabilities, but it does more burst damage to single entities. Of course, that's why you want to use it against vehicles, since a vehicle is just a single entity. Dark Reapers using their pinning fire, trying to suppress the Plague Champion. A lot of these things getting hit by Blake Grenades. We've been seeing so many Blake Grenades. I think we're going to have a Singularity in retreat. No, I think because the D cannon got forced off. Here comes some knobs along with the Warboss. This Warboss with the heavy armor, the Power Claw, as well as the Trophy Rack. So that's going to be really, really scary. We have Terminators here surrounded by knobs. They need to get the hell out of there. They cannot stay there. need to teleport, and now, even now, they're still in trouble. Where are the scouts to support? Oh no. One scout squad actually nearly goes down, and these Terminators, to be honest, still in a huge amount of trouble. He needs to get them out of there or they're going to get wiped. This squad of shotgun scouts needs to get out there. They need to shotgun blast these knobs because I think that's the best chance for this squad surviving. Boom. That's it. And even then, they're still kind of in trouble because we have, oh my god, look at Yarrick being so bold and so foolish. Like, but he's not going to get it. All right, we got double predators right now. We have a mark of Nurgle Predator as well as a mark of Corn Predator. So it's going to be a lot of anti-infantry firepower coming out of SuperHooper, as well as some AV if he needs it. Although more anti. Oh my God! What an orbital! What positioning? Just in retreat. Absolutely incredible. And in some ways, that was still disappointing. I think they're. Yeah, the orbital, I mean, it was nice that he caught it in retreat, but there's just something about the orbital that I feel is, in a way, kind of not good. Usually you can only get one beam hit, because usually you get one beam hit, and usually it's going to throw them out of the other beams. If you can get them to land in one of the other beams, then it's actually really good, but I think it's somewhat random how that works. I don't think it's very hard to do. We have a plague of undeath right here, spawning a lot of zombies, and now we've got a bunch of slugger zombies. It's really funny. I'm surprised to see that global use. Plague of undeath, global from the plague champion, spawns zombies whenever enemy models die, and I don't think it even was that good, but it was still kind of funny to see, and we saw lots of zombie sluggers. Oh man, we got these cannons firing. Unfortunately, oh man, they need to get out of there. This predator is probably done. Unless we have a stun. Yes, stun from the Plague Champion, but the Predator still needs to get the hell out of there. Oh no, path blocked by the Apothecary. And wow, these knobs actually in a huge amount of trouble. So knobs actually nearly going down, going after that Predator, but a nice save by SuperHooper, like save on his own unit. Since I think if he hadn't used the Pestilence Strike, I think he would have lost that Predator. Alright, meanwhile, I hear the sound of a Baneblade up here. Something got wiped, probably. Oh man, Baxter actually losing nearly everything. He's mostly got his Carnifexes, and he's got a Hormigaunt Brood left, which is actually a new Hormigaunt Brood, which I don't think that's actually that good of an idea. I don't think he should have gotten a new Hormigaunt Brood. Because he got a new Hormigaunt Brood in Tier 3. Baxter is floating massively. What is he waiting for? He needs to get something new out on the field. He's already got double Carnifexes. If he throws a Swarmlord on top of that, or a third Carnifex, it would be ridiculous. Meanwhile, over here, we still have more of that. Fist of Brachus being absolutely awesome. Just all of these things tanking right here. I'm a little bit worried. I mean, these things are kind of regenerating. Oh no, here's the Tyranno formation. In retreat. Is it going to hit something? Let's get that Spire. Is that Spire going to hit right there? Oh no, so that Tyranno formation actually misses most things. Kills the building. Now we have a Baneblade unsupported at about half health. Guardsmen, since they are finished capturing, they should go ahead and repair this Baneblade. Might even want a repair bunker to continue to support it. And here comes that Swarmlord. Meanwhile, Adila with a Predator of his own. Looks like SuperHooper lost one of his Predators and he's building a new one. He lost the Corn Predator. Dark Clown with a pretty big army. This Fire Prism doing pretty well. He's been doing very well to keep it out of range of things that can kill it. So this really is the correct way to use a Fire Prism. The Fire Prism just hasn't really been threatened, and it's just been able to shoot really pretty much uncontested. And you want your Fire Prism to really just stay out of range out of the units that can actually harm it. And oh my god, what a Manticore Strike. Doing huge damage to everything that was here. Is that going to be a Singularity? Unfortunately, I think that Singularity is going to miss everything. If that Singularity had hit all of these units in retreat, that could have been absolutely devastating. Dark Clown going for yet another Fire Prism. Meanwhile, this Baneblade right here, what a tough nut to crack. The Baneblade was, of course, changed in Elite Mod so that it has its main cannon firing automatically instead of being done by using an ability. This means it has less burst damage, so it has less ability to snipe tanks. But in a way, it's also a bit of a buff, because the overall potential DPS of the Baneblade has actually been increased by quite a bit. So the total just the total damage output of the Baneblade is now actually bigger than it was in retail, even though it doesn't have that tank sniping burst damage capability. Ogrins, meanwhile, you know, this is actually being... Wow, so Las Cannon Predator goes down. I think that what Yarrick is doing right here is being really, really threatening, because he's got the Aura of Discipline. He's got Fist of Brachus, so his models can't die, and that Aura of Discipline is actually allowing some of his squads to regenerate a bit, even as they lose health, because all of his squads can lose health, but they can't die. So, and then he actually has an ability that will allow him to restore some of that health. That was a Vomit on retreat. Actually managed to kill one Ogre model. Alright. Now the Fire Prisms need to move back just a little bit, because there is a Great Unclean One right here. We actually have a D-Cannon that's going to get wiped in this building. Oh man. Yeah, now the Fire Prisms really, really need to move. We have the Farseer right here, fully upgraded, Singing Spear, Armor of the Assyrian, and Spirit Stones. Pretty powerful war gear combination. He's got a heavy melee spear, or she rather, that Armor of the Assyrian, granting the Time Field ability, which can be very, very powerful, as well as a heal from those Spirit Stones. Meanwhile, down here, Manticore goes down for Commissar Yarrick, and you know what? This Baneblade is in absolutely terrible position, completely surrounded by a ton of units that can actually damage it. I think the Venom Brood need to go, though. They're going to die, and they don't even need to stay. The combination of the Venom Brood, the Venom Brood, well, yeah, the Venom Brood, the Swarm Lord, and the Carnifex, even without the Venom Brood, all of these super units could have taken out that Baneblade. It did not need to lose that Venom Brood. There goes, that was a Bioplasma from the Venom Cannon Carnifex, but unfortunately just completely missed everything. But these Fire Prisms still need to be careful. Now Dark Clown, I think, is moving up a little too forward with his Fire Prisms. But, I mean, he actually is getting shots off. They're actually not getting hit, in part because this Carnifex is being very threatened by the Ogrins, and that's going to be one Carnifex down. So the stuff that Yarrick is doing is very powerful, although it relies a tremendous amount on the Commissar's energy, and of course once he runs out of energy, or rather once Fist of Brachus wears off, since I believe Fist of Brachus is not a channeled ability, it goes for a certain amount of time. But basically once the ability is on cooldown, then Commissar Yarrick is a lot less threatening. But when he has that Fist of Brachus active, he is incredibly threatening. Alright, it looks like blue team now looking really, really strong. Well, I was going to say really, really strong. Yeah, blue team, I don't know. I mean, the Baneblade went down, but yeah, I mean, Yarrick is still being absolutely threatening. These Ogrins are absolutely heroic. They have done so much this game. So this is amazing. Yarrick is doing a melee build with Imperial Guard, and he's overrunning things. He's doing a melee. He's got a melee Imperial Guard build. All right, but now we have some touch of Nurgle from the Heretics and knocking everything around. I think the Commissar Lord, yeah, Commissar Lord needs to activate his shield. That is going to be an Eldritch Storm on top of, after using Time Field, which let's take a look. The Ogrins are still here. But where are the Ogrins going? They're actually going for the Chaos Space Marines. Oh, but they're not going to get the wipe on the Chaos Space Marines. Commissar Lord goes down. Yarrick should be able to get it back fairly soon, though. Yarrick actually has way too much red. He could have been rocket running his opponents really badly. Meanwhile, what do we have here? Terminator's completely overextended. I think trying to go for the Fire Prism. Dark Clown actually lost a lot of his stuff, including one of his Fire Prisms. Probably lost one Fire Prism to these Terminators, but I think these Terminators now in a bit of trouble against the Warboss as well as the Knobs. However, can the red team get a cap off No, it's a triple cap for the blue team, so that's definitely going to be the win in their favor. Alright, pretty crazy. Blue team came back, especially impressed with Commissar Yarrick's play, doing a melee Imperial Guard build, completely overrunning things. Level 4 Guardsmen, level 4 Catachan Devils, level 9 Commissar Lord. Let's take a look at some of the other levels. Level 10 Farseer, level 5 Warboss, level 7 Hive Tyrant, level 9 Plague Champion, and level 10 Apothecary. My god. Let's also take a look at that Stormbolter. Alright. Pretty good game. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Have a good night.